Another transfer story, and it's another... Why don't we just link us with every single player that Sheffield Wednesday have ever been involved with? This is from the Examiner Live. Jordan Storey is on Sheffield Wednesday's transfer radar this summer. Yorkshire Live understands the Preston North End defender impressed during a previous loan spell at Hillsborough. In the second half of the 2021-22 campaign, he made 19 league appearances as Darren Moore's side fell short of the playoff hurdle that term. Storey caught the eye for his versatility and defensive nous during that short stint at S6. It was no surprise that he slotted straight back into Preston's first team last season, racking up the most number of games and minutes played by any outfield player on the books at Deepdale. Despite having another 2 years left to run on his contract, with Ryan Lowe's side, sources say the 25-year-old has been mentioned as someone who the Owls are keeping tabs on this summer as they plot a mini revamp after promotion. I'll end it there. So, this would be one that would cost us a bit of money, Jake.
Yes.
Just because we're interested doesn't necessarily mean we could get near it, because I reckon this is sort of one that Preston would want upwards of $1 million for, would you think?
More. A lot more.
Upwards. Keep going, basically.
I think it's anywhere from 2.5 to 3 million. And the problem is, if this is someone we are going... The thing is, this is one of these ones where I want it to either get done straight away or we move on. I don't want another season where we're going after one player because we want him. If they're not willing to sell him, don't keep going in and offer silly money, because he's good, don't get me wrong, good player, but we don't want to be the chasing club all the time. We want to be able, right, he's not done, move on to the next target.
It's one of those where he's probably better than Mark McGuinness.
Yes.
Probably because of his experience with Preston and showing that he can do it in the Championship, and I know people are obsessed with that. But he would also cost more. So if I look at those two players and I go, Mark McGuinness is a good player and there's potential there, as with Jordan Storey, if it's a case of Mark McGuinness for $1 million and Jordan Storey for 3+, you probably make the McGuinness deal, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Even though I would like to see Jordan Storey back, because I think there's a player there. There is a hell of a player there. But it's a case of how much money do we want to spend. But I also would get behind it if we decided to spend the money. I've managed to close the entire document there. Bear with me. But highlights in terms of his last window with us. Do you think... We obviously saw him in League One. Do you think he would be able to play in this side in the Championship?
At the end of the day, he played the most minutes out of anyone in their team. So it shows you that he can do it. And I think in that...
Sorry.
What?
You died for a second. Carry on.
Oh, and if that's the case, it shows you that he's very much a part of their first team and they're very happy with it. So we would have to put in a mammoth bid for prizing him away. And the thing is, if anything, it can sound really bad, it can sound really arrogant, but it sounds like when they kind of made him better for them, what a lone player should be. And the fact that we've made him better for them is great, but it doesn't help when you want him back.
I think it makes more business sense to go for Mark McGuinness, because Jordan Storey is 25 years old and would cost us more. He is becoming a very developed player, right? So he is a player that is literally, if you buy him, he's the ready-made thing now for you. You would assume, wouldn't you? He is your go-to centre-back, and he's the player you push on with. So I could see that happening. He's 25. Mark McGuinness is 22. And if he's a couple of mil cheaper...
Yeah.
I take the risk.
One played a bit more and had a bit more experience, and I think also you're also looking when McGuinness went back to Cardiff, he was in a battling team, battling relegation. Different mindset to a team pushing for promotion.
Yeah, but we know how he enjoyed it here as well, don't we? So it's a different setup here. Yeah, he was. I think in terms of... He's 6'4", Mark McGuinness. Jordan Storey is 6'2", so they're both big lads. But I think someone like Mark McGuinness you can turn them in to a Jordan Story with not too much time if you have experienced centre-backs near them. So if Owekwe's obviously still here. If we're playing a back three, I wouldn't be against, with Iorfa's performances, a back three of Iorfa, Owekwe, McGuinness. I mean, it would be amazing to have Owekwe, McGuinness, Story. That would be great. I mean, you could even have McGuinness, Iorfa, Story, because I think that's probably quite an energetic back line there as well. How about both?
The problem is if you went for both, seriously, if you went for both though,
it's not going to happen.
You're probably talking about 3.5 million for both the pair.
Oh no, I think you pay, because I do think you're probably right. Jordan Story is about 3 million, and I think McGuinness, they'll probably try and go for 1 million. If we can get less, fantastic. But maybe they don't. Maybe they do let him go for 500k or something like that. McGuinness.
Can't. I wish.
We're all dreaming.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting to know what you guys think in terms of that. Jordan Story versus Mark McGuinness. Do you want both of them, or would you say one's more realistic? Or should we be looking elsewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really intrigued to see what happens with that one.
Yeah, same.
But I want to see us sign some players now, please.
Yes.